if you were going to die tomorrow morning, but tonight they placed you in a room to spend one last night, would you be afraid? Not afraid of death itself, but of that room. A place where, after just one night, inmates either came out completely silent or screaming like they'd gone insane. What could possibly be more terrifying than a death sentence? Hi, I'm someone who's obsessed with digging up chilling stories buried under the dust of time. Today, I'll tell you about a secret room inside an abandoned prison, surrounded by a violent sea. A place where the worst criminals were kept before their execution. But this story isn't about ghosts or midnight screams like you might expect. This room is buried deep within solid rock, isolated from every other cell. No windows, no lights. The most vicious inmates were brought here, not to reflect on their crimes, but to experience something no one could explain. And the strangest part, despite dozens of guards and surveillance cameras, no one ever really knew what happened in there at night. All they knew was that whoever came out was never the same person again. So what made this room more horrifying than death itself? Over the years, 3 twisted theories have spread, each revealing a disturbing truth about human nature and punishment. Theory 1. Humans are the cruelest monsters of all. This theory claims the room was used for private punishments, where outsiders were paid to torture the inmates not for justice, but for revenge. Family members of victims or people who believed execution wasn't enough secretly arranged brutal add-ons. It may sound absurd, but when driven by hatred, human cruelty knows no limits. Theory 2. The room is a gateway to the afterlife. The spirits of wrongfully murdered victims return to this place seeking justice of their own. No hands needed. Pure hatred from the dead breaks the criminal's mind on their final night. Theory 3. The room was part of a dark psychological experiment. The prison once worked with a secret research group, conducting mental endurance tests to see how far a person could be pushed before they broke. Some say inmates went permanently insane after just a few hours in that room. I've read all the rumors, dug through the old files, and eventually I came up with my own theory. One that still makes me afraid to ever step into that room, even once. I believe that room doesn't imprison the body, it traps the memories of the guilty. Inside, inmates aren't tortured, they aren't haunted by ghosts. Instead, they're forced into a kind of mental prison. One where they relive every moment of their crime, but not as the killer, as the victim. They feel the pain of being stabbed, the fear of being hunted, the desperate screams through the victim's eyes. In those visions, they become every victim they ever hurt, and realize the horror didn't come from some outside force, but from their own hands. When they wake up, they're no longer a monster. They're a broken human being, not out of guilt, but because they can't escape themselves. The takeaway: some sentences don't come from the law. They come from your own conscience. Death may end everything, but living with your guilt every second. That's the punishment that never ends. You can run from others, but you'll never run from yourself. If today's story made you pause and think, please help it reach more people by hitting like. And if you believe that the conscience can be the harshest sentence of all, don't forget to subscribe for more chilling journeys like this one. Thanks for watching till the end. And remember, don't fear the darkness, unless you're hiding something inside it. See you next time.